So we are almost at the end of this Python course. So in this module, we'll be talking about package importing and management. So we'll learn how to import and use Python packages, look at common libraries, and also managing dependencies. So what are packages? Packages are a collection of pre-written codes that you can use instead of writing your own code. So they save time and they are powerful tools. So we'll be looking at common packages that we have. Let's look at math. So here, math is a package, and if you see a package with a dot in front of it, it means it's a function, right, that is working in the maths package. So for this now, this would return the value for pi, while this will return the square root of 16. So this sqrt is part of the math package. So if you run this, you would see the value for pi and the square root of 16. Now, you can also import specific functions that exist in packages. So something like from maths, import square root. And you can, import multiple functions at once from one line of code. So if you run this, you would also get the value for pi and also square root of 25. Then another best practice that we do in Python is importing with aliases. So we can say import math as m. So whenever we want to use math, we just specify m, and that would also work because m now represents math. Moving forward, let's look at other import examples. Let's look at this random, import random. So this is a package that has the functionality of getting random numbers. So this randint is a function that we can call from this random package. So we are trying to get a random number from 1 to 100 for 5 values. So we are going to get 5 numbers between 1 and 100, random numbers. So that is what that is for. Then there is another function called date time. So date time. So from date time, import date time. So you can use that to obtain your current timestamp. So this is showing what the current time is. Let's look at other packages that are used for data science and some AI coding. So import NumPy as NP. So this is like a common line of code, NumPy as NP, and there are various functions we could run under NP. There's an array function that returns lists. So if you run this, you can see this list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the data type is numpy.ndarrays. So let's look at some other basic operations from NumPy. So in NumPy, we could sum, we can find the mean, we can find the standard deviation. So these are good for data analytics. And we can also create matrices using NumPy. So these are lists, but they would be converted into a matrix, and you could find the dimension using this code matrix.shape. So here it is. Now, for other data manipulation, you can use pandas. So most times we do import pandas as PD. Import pandas as PD. So this is creating a data frame, and we define the data frame pd.dataframe data. Right, so you can see that this looks like a dictionary, like we discussed. This is the key, these are the values. So if you run this, you have something like a table with the column names and also the observations in each of the columns. So there are different operations you could do under that. You can see, you can find the average age, df age. So you are indexing this column, so dot main, and we are trying to get, so this main is a function, so you just need a parenthesis, open and close. You don't need to put anything in there, and we want it in 1 decimal place. And also we want the highest score, so we use this max function. Also, you don't need to have any parameters in there. So if we run that, you can see the average age, you have the highest score. Then people in New York, we want the length of people where the city is equal to New York. So if you see New York, there's only one person that is in New York, and that's Alice. So it counts the number of people living in New York, and that is 1. So these are basic things you can do with packages. So let's look at another one called matplotlib. So we can import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. So you can see why we are creating aliases, because this is a long name to call. So this is used for visualizations, right? So let's try and do an example of a visualization. So we have our x-axis, we have our y-axis, and we want to create a simple line plot. So you would see, so these are our points from the data we created, right? So matplotlib helps us do that. So you can see plt is the package we are calling. Then we have these functions, figures, plots, title, x label, and all of that. So plot.show then shows the plots. We can also create bar charts. Bar charts. So this, we have categories A, B, C, D with values, and plots.bar, that is showing the bar charts. And you see, and it follows the colors we specified: red, blue, green, orange. So those are cool things you can do with packages. They help you to not write codes from scratch. Then whenever you are installing packages, because you need to get them installed for you to import them. So if it's not installed, you can just do %pip install whatever the package is. If it's NumPy, you can just do that and it installs it. So you can also check for the packages you have installed already to know what you have and what you don't have. So this will give you a breakdown of everything that you have. Now, we sometimes try to catch errors, And we can use a code like this to import only when that package is available. Like I said, if you don't have it installed, you won't be able to import it. So something like this now, it can import because NumPy is available. And if it's not available, instead of bringing error and all of that, to just tell you that NumPy not installed. So this can just help manage your codes. So you can also do this. So we've already defined as NumPy is equal to true. So if as NumPy is equal to true, that means if you have NumPy, then run this. Else, do this. So because we have NumPy, we created the list using np.array. But if you didn't have NumPy, it will just create the list using our regular base code. So those are cool stuff you could do. So that is where we are going to stop for this module. Now you know how to import, you know how to install packages. So you can explore other packages that could be useful for you. You can try installing them to your workspace. So thank you for attending the lecture, and I'll see you in the next module. Bye.